I don't know football. I'm not gonna throw shade or call anybody out, but this is directed to Atlanta Falcons fans because we played them week 1. They were the last team. We were the last team they played back in 2018. I don't know football apparently. It's not like back in 2016. Most of you people, or 2017, early 2017. Most of you won't even know this because you're probably new to the channel. There's a titled video in all caps. The Falcons will lose the Super Bowl. Now I was rooting for you guys, and I had mad respect for the Falcons as a whole. But I made that video as they were blowing out the, I think, Green Bay Packers in the NFC Championship game after the Packers beat the Cowboys. And I said, literally, and I quote, the Falcons will find a way to lose this Super Bowl. There's no way in my mind they'll win this Super Bowl. There's not a chance. They'll do everything they can to score as many points as they can, but they will not win this Super Bowl. They'll find a way to lose. What happened in February, what was it, like February 4th, 2017? That exact thing happened. Okay? I don't know if I have a knack for predicting the Super Bowl right, because in 2015 I predicted that the Broncos will upset the Panthers, and this year I predicted last year, July 3rd, I predicted that the Eagles will win the Super Bowl, and I stuck by that until they won the dang Super Bowl. Now, I don't know if I just don't know football or not, but I have a pretty good track record right now. When you look at the 2016 Falcons team, that team had one of the best offenses ever. Sure. Matt Ryan was league MVP. Sure. But did they beat the Philadelphia Eagles? No. We limited them to 15 points. Fast forward another year after they lost the Super Bowl, the Eagles are one of the best offenses in the league, have one of the better defenses in the league. The Falcons are struggling on offense. They just can't find a rhythm. Julio Jones had 3 touchdowns, and I know people have told me that I can't base this off of stats, but I'm not trying to base it off of stats. I'm basing it off of facts, okay? That's the key difference. The Falcons last year lost themselves after what happened in Super Bowl 51. And they couldn't get themselves back until the end of the season. And once they got themselves back, they were facing a team that is trying to prove something. Because we were down our #1 quarterback. We were down our #1 linebacker. We were down a #1 corner for 11 weeks. We were down one of our best running backs ever in Darren Sproles. We were down the All-Pro Hall of Famer to be, Jason Peters. Okay? And we were down one of our best specialists in Chris Maragos. We lost our kicker to start off the season. So much adversity was put into this team that made it look impossible for us to win. But I stuck by my team. I watched the film. I watched the footage. I watched everything that I could to tell you guys that this team has a chance to make something great happen, to make history. And they did. And they did. Without Carson Wentz, without Darren Sproles, and everybody else that I just named. The Atlanta Falcons, on the other hand, in 2017 and the 2018 playoff run, they beat the Rams. Props to that, because the Rams were a high-powered offense. They were at the Coliseum, so it was going to be a tough game. Props to you guys for beating them. But you guys are coming to Philly, playing Nick Foles, who has struggled a lot. Now, your team as a whole, I don't follow your team clearly, so I'm not going to, say that I'm right or anything. But I know you guys have improved. Don't get me wrong, and I'm not trying to disrespect you guys, okay? I'm not trying to toss shade, okay? I'm just saying not only my opinion, but I'm trying to be as unbiased as possible right now. Your defense last year wasn't your strong point. But your offense was not your strong point either for a majority of the season. You guys were back and forth. You guys were trying your hardest to get back into that playoff run, back into that Super Bowl contender that you were. But you couldn't find yourselves until later on in the year. Your defense was never your strong point. And against the Eagles, against Nick Foles, who was struggling so hard because he was trying to find his rhythm. He was trying to find out what worked with this team, and he found it in that third, fourth quarter against you guys specifically. Only scored 10 points against us off of turnovers, I believe. You scored all your 10 points off of turnovers. I remember Jay Ajayi fumbled the football. You scored a touchdown off of that. I believe we did another turnover, and you guys scored a field goal. After that, we shut you guys out. Julio Jones had some big plays. You guys, as a whole, had some big plays. That's what you guys do. You guys make the most out of your big plays, and I respect you for that because not many teams can do that. The Rams did it. My team, the Philly Eagles, did it. But not many people can have success off of just big-time plays. Your team last year was inconsistent and did not have a decent pass rush, a decent defense as a whole. Now this year, I'm not going to say that I know your team, because I don't, but I know you guys have improved. I know, and I know week 1 is not going to be the easiest game. But as far as talent all around, your team definitely got some talent on offense and a little on defense. I won't dispute that. But the Eagles for the last year have had the most talent all around. All over their team. They've had the most talent. The weakness that I'll give the Falcons an advantage at is definitely, without a doubt, linebacker. The Eagles are down linebackers right now. Okay? Just for one game. But it has to be against the Falcons. We're getting Carson Wentz back. And I don't know about you guys, but I think Carson Wentz in his 2 years has had a lot of great plays. And he's been more consistent than Matt Ryan's has been. Sure, Matt Ryan has a league MVP. If Carson Wentz didn't get hurt, he was going to be league MVP last year. This team, the Eagles, with what they got Alshon Jeffrey. He's going to be 100% healthy off of torn rotator cuff surgery. Reminder, he played the playoffs, the Super Bowl, the entire season with a torn rotator cuff. Remember that. Carson Wentz coming off of a torn MCL and ACL. He'll be there. Jay Ajayi, Corey Clement, Darren Sproles is going to be returning punts again. Zach Ertz is going to lead the way with Richard Rodgers and Dallas Goedert. That's a really good trio of tight ends right there. We got Mike Wallace, who is just as fast as anybody in this league still at his older age. I'm just saying, this offense right now that the Eagles have, plus their defense that has been pretty strong ever since 2015 or 2016, they have a good advantage over the Falcons. I'm not trying to be biased. You call me biased all you want, but I'm just stating my opinion and facts along the way. This Eagles team is better than the Falcons right now. The Falcons can prove me wrong. The Falcons can prove everybody wrong. But on paper right now, sure, the Falcons have one of the deadliest offensive weapons and offenses in general, but they've had that for the last 6 years. Ever since Julio Jones came into the league, they've had one of the best... Ever since Julio Jones came in, they've had one of the best offenses ever. Sure, and of course with Devontae Freeman, and then you add in Mohamed Sanu, but at the same time, have they won anything with that? I'm just saying. I'm just saying, man. Eagles are better than the Falcons. That's just my opinion.